Hey everybody, my name is Josh Lovelace and I'm with Relevant Magazine. Recently we hosted a live webcast event with Donald Miller that was brought to you by Convergence. And we had an incredible time talking about the questions that you wanted to ask Don. It was an event where you could ask him anything that you wanted to, and we wanted to bring you a few of those highlights. So you can take a look at this. We've had a lot of people message in and ask the question, when is Blue Like Jazz, the movie, going to hit the big screen?
I hope it does. We're in the process right now. We finished the screenplay for it probably a year and a half or 2 years ago. And once you're done with that, you go into the next phase, which is raising money. So we need millions of dollars. I don't know how many millions it is, but we need millions of dollars. It's not part of what I do. But there's some guys working extremely hard on raising that money. I think at one point we had half of it, or half the money we needed to shoot the film. And once the money is in, we shoot it, and then we go into post-production and we release it. So we don't have a schedule yet until we have the cash. But if anybody has $1 million and you want to invest in a movie that is bound to do well, go to bluelikejazz.themovie.com, I think.
Ray Kerr asks, as your ideas grow, evolve, change, is it hard to have them written in stone in previous books?
Well, sort of, Ray. You know, I don't go back and read what I've written. You know, you just need to move on and start on the next project. But I remember reading the audiobook for Blue Like Jazz, and there were a couple times when I thought, as a personality, I was just kind of wimpy and complained a little bit. And it bothered me, you know, and so people come up to me now and they say, oh, I love that book. I'm thinking, yeah, but I'm not a wimpy whiner, you know. And so there's a little bit of that, but, and you're always kind of living in the past a little bit. People who are reading whatever book, they assume that's who you are right now. But that's okay, you know, it's not hard. I wouldn't define it as hard. I would define it as more weird. You know,
Sure.
It's a strange feeling.
Sure, sure. Taya Wright wants to know, how do I help men develop an emotional vocabulary of what is going on inside of them?
That is, that's a terrific question. And first I want to say, not only men, but men and women, but especially men, because we're not naturally really great at this. We have to develop an emotional vocabulary. And here's why. If you don't know yourself, if you don't know why you do what you do, you're in a lot of danger. A lot of danger. I mean, you can hurt people. So for me to get angry, I need to always ask myself, wait, why are you angry? Is there something here that's threatening you? What is the real reason behind this emotion? And if you can't do that, it's going to affect your relationships, your family. But here's the other thing. If you really want to be a powerful man, I think every man is powerful, period. Men are equipped with power. But men who don't know how to work the levers of the equipment that they are, that sounds vaguely sexual, doesn't it? But if you don't know like how to work your power or guide it, you're not going to be very helpful in terms of serving the world and building an impactful life as a leader. And so understanding ourselves is super important. How do we develop an emotional vocabulary? I love just the basic stuff, the Myers-Briggs stuff, studying the Enneagram, just all the stuff that helps you understand how you're wired and why you do the things that you do.
Well, when you say that men are kind of hardwired and equipped with power, how do you see that differently in terms of how women are equipped with or without power from your perspective?
Well, I think we're all equipped with power. I think women are obviously very powerful and men are very powerful. I think one of the problems, the reason I say that specifically to men is one of the problems that we encounter in our society is that men are passive. That they don't actually believe that they can change the world, or even change their family, or even change themselves, and we're suffering the consequences of that. I think I read a statistic recently that 94% of people in prison are men, and that means men are powerfully doing bad things that land them in prison. And so that's a crisis of masculinity. We don't have a crisis of femininity in our culture. Women are staying with their children. Men are abandoning their children. And so men have to understand I'm powerful. And what I mean by that is you're either destroying something or you're building something all the time. So your passivity, you're checking out emotionally and being too afraid to impact life is destroying life. That's what passivity does. So you have to always ask myself, when I get up, I'm a man, God put me on the planet, I need to do something to build and create good things for people and love, essentially, for people who surround me. And we just wake up every day and we do that. If we don't do that, we're letting somebody else tell a story, and that story may not be very good.
So you're saying that's not necessarily unique to the genders, but there is a component there that you want to speak to the men about power.
Well, it's dangerous territory when you start talking about gender-specific stuff. I don't actually subscribe to the many gender-specific ideas that are out there. But I think there are some basics. You know, biologically, women can have babies, men can't. You know, these kinds of things. In general terms, women are very beautiful. In general terms, men are stronger physically. So to say that the biological world isn't like the philosophical world is kind of a stretch. That's probably not the case. I think there are philosophical generalities about men. And so I'm playing off of that. But that's dangerous territory because you say that and people take it to an extreme and attack you. And so I try to stay out of that territory. But I would just want to say, you know, we can't be passive as men anymore. We have to wake up and tell the world a better story. And that always comes back to something that men don't like to talk about, love. I need to bring love into this world. I need to somehow create an environment and protect that environment where love can exist because people feed off of love. It is the clean water of the emotional well-being system, you know.